This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk us through this 2025 Flagstaff Super Lite, and the model is 29RLBS. Okay, so this is a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. Okay, so first of all, you have two power awnings with LED strips, one on the slide room here and then another one on the trailer wall. Okay, now this has a 3-point auto leveling system. You do have 5 jacks on it, but your auto leveling jacks, you have the tongue jack, and then you have one of these on each side. Okay, so to operate them, you come up to the front here. I don't know if I can get a good picture of it with the glare, but you're just going to turn it on. It's all pretty self-evident. You go to auto mode, and you will go basically to auto level, and it'll level the tongue jack and those 2 side jacks will auto level. So that takes the shake out of your trailer. It does a really good job. Now you also have these manuals here. If you even want to crank it down and get it better, even get it more stable, you can use those. But after you push the auto level, which is the one in this corner, it'll remember the position it was in right before you auto leveled. So it remembers the position it was in when you unhooked your tow vehicle and pulled it away. It remembers that position, right? So the last position before you auto leveled, it remembers. So when you're getting ready to leave, you'll just push auto reconnect, and it'll push it and it'll put it right back into that position. You can slide your tow vehicle right under the hitch, and you're all set, ready to go. It also has a manual mode where you can operate them independently of each other. There's a lot you can do. The directions are all on here. Plus, it has there's more literature inside the trailer, but this is the basic idea here. So I'm just going to shut it off now because we're not going to go any further with it. You get 2 30-pound LP tanks with an automatic changeover regulator. You have a deep cycle marine battery. You have a kill switch right here, if you can see it. It's right, I don't know if you can see it, it's right there. But you can disconnect the battery from the trailer right there if you choose to. Okay. You come around here. It's your docking lights here. Here you have your griddle. This is your griddle right here, and the rack it hangs on. That hangs on the side of your trailer. You also get a rubber LP line with quick connect fittings on it, and I'll show you where that will hang on your trailer when we get over there. More jacks over here. I'm sorry, more cranks over here. You have a sprayer, a coiled sprayer with a quick connect. I'll show you where those go when we get there. And a reducer. You have a 50 amp cord, so we give you a 50 to 30 amp reducer, which we're using right now. And then you got this, which will reduce it down to a 20. So you get a couple reducers with it. That table right there, that can hang on the rail on the other side also. That's just a utility table. Okay. So you have a black tank valve here, toilet water waste. Gray one here, second shower water. If you come up to here, this is the city water hookup right here. It's the most common way to get water to the trailer. You just hook the hose on there, turn it on, and you're all set. If you're camping someplace that does not have city water, you're boondocking for example, you can fill your fresh water tank right here, and then you can use the water pump, the electric water pump on the inside of the trailer. You can just turn that on, and it will pump all the plumbing will work as though you have city water, but you'll be pumping from the fresh water tank. Okay. Also, this is for winterizing the trailer here. You'll have to learn about that if you're going to do it yourself. This is the black tank flush. So after you dump your black tank, like it says on the sticker, do not use the tank flush valve unless the tank the termination valve is in the open position. So when you dump your black tank, you leave that in the open position. You put your hose at the dump station on here and then turn it on. You don't want too much pressure to build up, so you always want that open. That'll flush out your black tank, clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. Your water heater works on both gas and electric. The switches are inside the trailer. This is your drain valve or drain right here. Right now this is empty. It's been winterized, so there's antifreeze in the system, but your water heater's been bypassed and is empty right now, so there's no water in it at all. So it can't freeze, obviously. Keep in mind when you can't run the heating element or the gas burner without water in the tank. So make sure you never try and use your water heater unless you're sure that the water heater tank is full. Okay? Alrighty, so this is just a sprayer, or a hookup where that coiled sprayer goes. That's your furnace vent. That's a vent for your range hood there. Some more storage here. Let's see. Okay. 50-amp cord hookup, of course. You have a pre-wire for a Furion backup camera kit. Let me say that again without the trailer going by. You have this is pre-wired for a Furion backup camera kit, so you can add the kit there. Just make sure you get the correct one to fit inside that housing. You get a ladder with it, which is great because it makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states every 90 days you should inspect the roof. You're going to look for damage from low branches or road debris that flies up there and damages something. You're going to look at cracking or separation anywhere where the sealant's at, for example. Just give it a good look over to make sure there's no issues with it. You can't see what's happening unless you look, so that's why it's important to inspect it. Okay? All right. Excuse me. Okay. So. Alrighty. So, when we first come in the door, this is your power converter right here. It automatically detects what type of battery you have. Right, then you open it up. It's like your control panel for your AC current. You've got regular AC circuit breakers here, 120 AC, and they're all labeled. So that's similar to what you have at home. And then you have 20 or 12 volt DC fuses here, and they're all labeled. So what it does, it takes the shore power 120 AC. And it uses where it's needed from right here. Then the rest of it's sent over here, and it's converted to 12 volt DC and set around the trailer to power all the 12 volt lights and fans and things. Everything that can run on 12 volts DC in the trailer does. Some things have to be AC, like the microwave or the air conditioner, things like that. So keep that in mind. There's also a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery up on the tongue needs and has, and as long as you're plugged in, it's going to charge your battery for you. Of course, when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle charges your battery. Okay. Alright, so this is your control panel here. Awnings, 1 and 2, 3 slide rooms. Your water your water pump right here. Remember we talked about using that to pump water out of the fresh water tank. If you don't have city water, that's also used to winterize the trailer. To light your water heater on gas, there. To turn on the electric heating element is right there. Never run these without water in the water heater tank. Your holding tanks also have heating pads on them. So you would turn that on there. The heating pads extend your camping season. It just warms them up, warms your fresh water tank, your black and gray tank up, and extends your camping season. Okay. That is for an app where it says connect. And of course you have your levels. Okay. Very simple. Your thermostat, you just poke it at the bottom here to bring it up. Right now we're running on gas heat. You can switch to air conditioning, whatever you want, but right now it's set for gas heat. Okay. Your keys are right here on the faucet. You have a microwave that works like any other microwave. You have the range hood vent, the fan. Remember I showed you that little the vent on the outside. You want that vent to, the baffle in that vent to be flapping freely when you're venting, so you can vent to the outside. If you're not venting to the outside, you can just keep it snapped shut. Your light, of course. When it comes to your range, let me see if this is purged through here yet. We'll give it a few minutes. He just prepped it, so he's running the furnace obviously, but there it goes. But there's always an air bubble when you change out the tanks. So when you get to the range, you're going to have to move past that, which we just did. So it takes a few tries, but now it's just going to light first try. Okay. To get it to stay lit, you hold this in for 5 or 10 seconds or so to heat up the thermocouple, so on and so forth. There you have it. Same thing for the oven. Never travel with this in the up position. Always have it closed. Okay. This is all your literature for the trailer here. This is just stuff that comes with it. Let me see. I think this is the drawer here. Yeah. So this is the. I told you there. To hook up your griddle, you have to use a rubber hose with a quick disconnect on it. That's the hose right there. There's a place on the outside of the trailer where you can hang a TV. This is the other half of the bracket. That's just an inline water filter. This is your tire monitor. Inside each one of your inside each one of your tires, stuck on the wheel directly across from the valve stem, there's a sensor that this can pick up. So all of the two tires or two wheels on each side all have those sensors. So you can program it. You can set it to, give you an audible alert if you're losing tire pressure, for example, or your hubs are heating up too much. So it's a really good thing. Like I said, you have to program it yourself, but there's all kinds of directions. You can scan the thing here and go online, look at the videos, all that sort of thing. Okay. All right. Your remotes. The fireplace, for example, right here. You can see it. You can change the intensity of the fire. It's got a thermostat on it. It's got a timer. Right now, it's also a space heater. Right now, it's really kicking out the heat. You can use that on the days where you don't quite need to use the furnace. You can use campground power to power this. You don't have to use your limited supply of LP. You also have your TV. remote. There's some storage back here, as you can see. Okay. Now this is a hide-a-bed. You pull the cushions right off. Set them aside, then you're going to grab it down here and fold it out. It's a 3-panel hide-a-bed. It's a really good one, really good one. Of course, your recliners are here. This is a leaf for this table here. You can pull it out. The chair is strapped. We left this one so you can see it. This is how they ship it. On the side, you can find another way to strap them down, but that's how they ship them to us. So you can use whatever way you want, but you should strap them down so they don't bounce around and dent something. Okay. Let's see here. Another vent here. Your shades, you have 2 shades. You have the mesh one that just cuts out the light, and then you have a privacy one which is completely blacks it out. Okay. Now the bathroom. There's a GFCI here. There's a couple in this trailer. Keep in mind, all the plugs are wired through a GFCI. No matter which plug it is, it's even if it's just a regular duplex plug, it's still going to be wired through one of the GFCIs. Is what I'm saying. So, if you're using something outside that pops, you're still going to reset it in here. The toilet is typical RV toilet. It sits right over a black tank. It's winterized, as you can see. So when you get to the campground, you put in a dose of chemical, you step on the pedal and hold it down till at least a gallon of water goes into the tank, along with the chemical. You can use more than a gallon of water, but don't use less. If you don't use at least a gallon of water and the chemical, it'll get clogged up, it'll smell terrible, it'll be a real mess. So never use it dry without the chemical and water. Okay. Powered 4-speed fan. This item here is an eco item. It's a shower miser. Here's the thing for it. And you can look at the other side. It has a chart or a drawing, I guess you would say. Gives you a better idea how it works. But here we go. This is the normal position for the shower, and you can see the picture of the shower behind that. Okay. When you want to use this, or why you would want to use this, is if you're in some areas you have where there are droughts, you're not allowed to just waste water and let it go down the drain, obviously. Also, if you let good clean water just go down the drain, you're going to waste storage space in your gray tank. So what this does is recirculates the water around in a loop. It goes from here around through the water heater, past the water pump, and back around again, around and around a loop. So while the water is running around in a loop, it's heating up. You're not wasting any fresh water, and you're not wasting any storage space. So what will happen is this will change the color to a beige color, and you'll see it dramatically change, and you know that the water is heated up at that point. Then you're just going to go like this, and it works like a regular shower. So you're not wasting perfectly good water or the storage space. Like I said, you can look at this if you're not understanding what I'm saying, you can look at this, and it's a pretty good diagram that tells you how it works. Okay. Alrighty. Also, this is important, a little thing but an important thing. Always use this strap when you're traveling. Never let the doors just slide around. Always latch this. Otherwise, odds are eventually somewhere down the line it's going to crack. So if you use this, it never will crack. So make sure you use that while you're traveling. Just so you know, your water pump is behind here. Okay. So now this has, I told you about the power converter. Remember I said the power converter converts AC to DC power. That would be this here. Well, it also has an inverter. An inverter does just the opposite. It converts 12 volt DC, or inverts 12 volt DC to 120 AC. This is what this is here. So the idea is, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you need some AC power to run an appliance, for example, you can do it this way. You can see how this plug here says inverter circuit. Well, the circuits or the plugs are inverted, meaning that if you've got a small appliance, you know, a razor, a toothbrush, or one of these breathing machines that people use, coffee pot, blender, that sort of thing, and you don't have any AC power, you're just running off of DC power, you can turn this on, and you can see right now it's converting the battery to 120.4 no, say 124, I'm sorry, volts AC, and so you can run any small appliance off of it. Now, you can't run a big appliance like an air conditioner or something like that, a microwave. You can't do it, but smaller appliances you can. So that's the idea of the power inverter. So that's self-explanatory. You can learn more about it as you go. But right now, if I unplug the trailer and I was just running, and I just have the 12 volt battery up front, I could plug a small appliance right into here and it'll run off the battery. An AC appliance will run off the DC battery. Okay, so you don't need to have it on unless you're using it. So I'm just going to shut it off, and it's off. Now, seeing that we're talking about power here, over here it's up kind of high to see, but I'll do the best I can here. This is your solar controller. So 70 degrees Fahrenheit is telling me, 13.6 volts DC. So that's your DC voltage. It's coming around again. Below that voltage is telling me 2.4 amps. What that's telling me is that it's taking the sunlight and it's converting it to 2.4 amps and storing it in the battery. So we're gaining 2.4 amps right now from the sun. It's later in the day. The sun is low in the sky. So when the sun is overhead on a good sunny day, it'll be up 7-8 amps. It just varies depending on the conditions outside. So 13.6 volts DC, 2.4 amps gain. Now if this just goes to zero, right, and it's telling you you're not gaining anything from the sun, but it's sunny outside, it's not broke. It's telling you that it is completely charged. There's no more room for storage in the battery, so it shut the panel off temporarily till the voltage in the battery drops. Okay. Once it drops below 100%, it'll just go right back to storing the solar energy back in the battery. Okay? Like I said, you can read as much as you want about all this stuff, but that's my favorite screen there, the one that we're just looking at with the DC voltage in the system and the amp gain from the sun. All right, you have a TV backer. You can hang a TV here, obviously. Emergency windows that work like they all pretty much do. Grab a hold of the red tab and pull it out. You can escape in an emergency. Okay. What this is telling us is, well, let me say this first of all, this is a 50 amp system. The reason it's a 50 amp system is because this is pre-wired for a second air conditioner. If you want to add it, that's what the sticker is telling us. It'll fit right into here. If you're interested, we can do that. But you can add a 13.5 in the bedroom, and you'll have no problem because you have a 50 amp system. Okay. These sensor prep are just telling you that there's a wire here that you can hook a sensor to, or hook to the sensor, I should say. Let me find a sensor to show you if I can see one here. Well, I know there's one here, but I don't see it at this moment, so okay, we won't worry about that. There's some storage under here too. Yes. So you have some drawers. There's the griddle I told you about before, and the griddle top, and your little table, and your coiled sprayer. Okay. Alright, yeah, so I think this does it pretty much. I'm just looking around now to make sure I didn't forget anything. So, this converts AC to DC power. The inverter inverts DC to AC power. And this is the solar controller that controls your solar panel, okay? Alright, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That's important. People generally don't inspect their roof enough, so you get up there and or have somebody look at it, make sure it's okay. Be very careful, of course. Right now this is winterized, so the water's been purged from the system and replaced with antifreeze. The water heater is bypassed and empty right now, so there's no water to freeze in your water heater tank. And like I said, make sure you fill the water heater tank before you turn it on in the springtime, okay? Thank you very much.